Hi YouTube. Look at this horrible muddle in front of you. These are the products that I've decided on New Year's Eve to get rid of from my makeup collection, and because these are the ones that are all partially used, they're items that I'm going to have to throw away. I have got out a few things that was given or bought stupidly and never used at all, which I'm going to try and sell or give to people as gifts or just give them away. These things are just going to have to be thrown away. And they're all items that I've had hanging around in my makeup collection for well more than a year, I think, except for one item I can think of that's just a year old, and I'll come to that in a minute. But I have a really hard time letting go of things before I've fully used them up, unless there are kind of major hygiene issues like a mascara, which I do get rid of after 3 months, even though I've never used it up. So I kind of always keep lipsticks, even though I've had them for years and maybe like them, but I've never, I don't think, used up a lipstick fully because they take so long and I have so many. And I've just come to the stage where I think, even though I feel it's kind of a waste to get rid of things that were expensive and I haven't fully used, even though I'm buying more new things. But the truth is, if I'm not using them, I've already wasted the money. So it's time to just get rid and make room for a little more space. So that's what I decided to do this year, be more ruthless. So where do I start? Some things just went wrong. For example, this Chanel Illusion d'Ombre in Phantasme, which is the one product which is only about a year old, just over a year. I bought it last November, not November 2012, November 2011 on holiday, and it was the first Illusion d'Ombre shadow that I bought. One of them in MFAA is probably the most used product for me last year that I really, really liked. But this one that initially I bought, I'm getting rid of for two reasons. Primarily because, as I've shown before in a video, it's completely dried up. So it's just turned into this disc of glittery stuff. The second reason I'm getting rid of it is that the sales assistant who advised me against getting this product in this shade, she said get one of the others, is that although it's super pretty, real glitter fairy dust, it's not very usable on a day-to-day basis. It's a real party item, and I don't party enough to justify keeping it. So I'm afraid that's going to go, and I've learnt my lesson about being really careful about putting the top on the Illusion d'Ombre shadows. Four other shadows that I'm regretfully letting go are these little NARS shadows, which are, I don't know what they're called. They're these kind of creamy shadows. I really liked them when obviously I bought four of them a couple of years ago because I thought the compacts were so dinky with the little mirror and the rubberized palettes that you get, but the eyeshadows were really small, and these are these cream ones. But although this purple is a pretty colour, it's not very wearable, and the real reason I'm getting rid of them is that they've kind of dried up, so they're just about usable, but they're not as creamy as I would like. I really like this aquamarine colour, but it's a real summer shade and I didn't get a lot of use out of it. So although I'm still slightly regretting, this is the one I use the most. I did get down to pan on that one, which was called Penelope. The formula is drying and it doesn't sit very well on my slightly greasy eyelids, and if I put a primer on before, then they just slide off. So regretfully, especially that gorgeous greeny turquoisey shade, letting them go. Then also letting go is this Bobbi Brown these are called Metallic Long Wear Cream Shadow. Now, the first reason I'm letting them go is they're not very long wearing. Again, they're too greasy for my eyelids. And this colour, I mean, you can see I have used it quite a lot. It's quite difficult to get out of the pot now on my finger, and it gives a very faint wash. But I bought this as a very wearable colour, and the truth is it's just too wishy-washy. This is called Brown Metal, and it's really not very brown or metally. So that's going, even though I haven't had it that long. I've got a couple of shadows that I've had for years. This Clarins is actually a repurchase of one of the very first quality eyeshadow palettes I bought when I was in my, probably late 20s, if I'm honest, a long time ago. Two matte shades in brown and pink, and I just use those two colours, using the pink, which is quite a peachy pink, as a highlight brow colour, and then colouring the socket before I learnt a lot about makeup. And as I say, this isn't the original one, this is a repurchase that I've almost kept for kind of sentimental reasons, but time to let it go. And then this is an early Dior that I had almost down to pan on the brown, but again, I don't wear pink shadows a lot nowadays. Couple of old shadows that, well, more than a couple. There's another Chanel product. I don't wear Chanel, Clarins product. I do wear Chanel a lot. Clarins not so much these days. Really liked them when I was younger. This is a product that I have used and been trying to use up. It's a Benefit Dandelion, and I'm down to pan, and I've kind of been struggling to use it. It's a pretty colour in a shade that you can hardly see it there, it's so subtle. A peachy pink that suits a lot of people, and I've had it a long time. It's very good value. I do find the powder not very long lasting and a bit drying for me now. So I've kind of moved on and that's got to go, and although I've been trying to use it up, I haven't been succeeding. I've got a lot of lipsticks that I'm getting rid of, particularly Chanel ones that I kind of feel bad about because they're so expensive. But I've had them a long time, and most of the colours that I'm getting rid of, you can see I've used a lot, but they're these pink shades. Here's a YSL. I don't like how the YSLs don't wear very well. They kind of go a bit rusty and yucky. You can see here's another one that's kind of gone a bit yuck. And there's more of that one. I haven't used it as much, but I don't like the way they're wearing. So all of these are pink shades, and I'm just not as into pink as I used to be, especially these pearlized ones. I think they look a bit aging and 80s, not age 80s, decade 80s on me now. So time to get rid of those. The one exception to that kind of colour scheme that I'm getting rid of is this Estee Lauder in Rose Tea that I really nearly got down to the bottom. That's about as far as I get, and you can see how it's all getting a bit grungy. And I could get it out with a lip pencil. Very flattering brown. I read an article once saying that Jennifer Aniston used this. Certainly the makeup artist had used it on her, and it looked really good on her. So, of course, like a fool, I'm always a mug for celebrity endorsements. I went out and bought it. But actually this one was a good purchase. But to the end of it now. Throwing out loads of lip glosses. Don't wear lip gloss very much. These Smashbox applicators, not good. The brushes, sort of bunch up. Metier de Beauté, don't understand why this is such a popular brand. I've had a shadow that I've thrown away as well. This gloss just separating, even though I haven't had it very long. Not very good quality. Breaks my heart to let go of this Dior palette. Somebody gave it me, and it's such a pretty thing, but it's so hard to use, and it weighs a ton. You put that in a handbag and it's like £2 already, so that's going. And a whole lot of other dross that I just haven't used, so it's time to let go, make room for new things, and just have some more space. So that's what I'm throwing out. Let's see what I buy to replace it this year. Happy New Year.